All right, Phil, thanks very much. But it is cold, and it is a very cold night indeed. ComEd crews are working to restore power to thousands of homes in our area, and Chicago firefighters are doing their very difficult jobs tonight. ABC7's Michelle Gallardo joining us now live from the scene of one fire tonight where 2 people were injured, Michelle, and the weather made the rescue work all that much more.
It certainly did, Ravi. You know, this was an automatic call alarm that went off between 7 and 7:30 this evening. Fortunately, the fire wasn't too big and firefighters were able to put it out rather quickly. But they had a close call themselves when they first arrived on the scene, and it was all because of the weather. In Michigan, Michelle Gallardo, ABC 7 News. Ravi, back to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you very much. And just before I toss to Michelle right there, you might have heard a rather loud sound from our studio and from me. Take a look at this right now. This has happened right in our studio here at 190 North. About 3 minutes ago, a silver minivan, it looks to be a Mazda, just crashed right into our studio front here on 190 State Street at the corner of Lake. And it does not appear at this point, at least, that anybody is hurt. We are awaiting the police to get in here and start an investigation. But I can tell you it has been very startling for those of us here in the studio to see a car literally crashing through from State Street right into our studio. So there you have right there a live shot. That's maybe a good 15 to 20 feet to my right as we sit here. And as you can see, the driver is out of there. We have no word on their injuries, if any at all, but I can tell you it was a loud bang right here, just to my right. And we are awaiting the police to come here, so this might be a little bit of a somewhat different kind of a newscast, but please stick with us, and we will bring you the very latest on that, as well as the other stories of the day. We're talking about weather. And high wind gusts destroyed an elaborate holiday display.
Not so perfect present. The rules of regifting.
It is on Monday with weather and traffic on the 7s beginning at 5 a.m.
Live shot now right here on 190 State Street at Lake, and you're looking at our studios from the outside. We have had a major accident happen right here about 8 minutes ago. The white minivan behind that Chicago Police Department car crashed into our street front studio directly. Witnesses telling us that someone had asked this person to move, and it appears at this point at least that first witnesses are telling some of our staff who are out on the street right now that this may have been a deliberate act. We've got Chicago Fire Department officials, firefighters in our studio right now, and police as well, first responders, several trucks, fire department trucks are here as well. But as you can see, this is the live shot actually looking back on our studio from across the street, a little high up. I believe this might be our Macy's cam looking in on 190 State Street and ABC7 News, our studios at the storefront here. Some onlookers saying again that this seemed to be an intentional act by the driver of this minivan. As you can see, has come right through the window, happening right at the top of our newscast. There is an enormous piece of glass that is situated above the minivan right now, and as we zoom in a little bit, maybe we can get a sense of it. What you see shattered there is literally thousands of pounds worth of glass, so it's a very dangerous situation. It has been cordoned off, or at least is being protected, at least by some first responders here in Chicago. And we'll try to get to the bottom of this, but I can tell you, all of a sudden, our cozy little studio here has quite a draft in it, at the very least. So we'll tell you about the latest on that. Now, let's carry on with our news as we had planned for you tonight. On this holiday weekend, friends and family laid to rest a different kind of American pioneer.
Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer.
Well, not to make too much light of this, but you know what? We can feel the outside weather in here right now. This is a crazy situation that's happening here at ABC7. That was very startling, wasn't it, Phil?
Very startling. You can still see the car halfway into the building here. So
we'll get you whatever the update is on that.
Absolutely.
But right now, there's a shot of what's happening outside of our studios here at State and Lake Street in the Loop in downtown Chicago. And as you can tell, it is a big crowd that is starting to gather, emergency vehicles everywhere. Chicago police and fire responding really within minutes to what happened here at 10:02. Car crashing right through our street front studio. Phil?
It sure didn't look like an accident
No,
either. So,
no,
yeah, certainly cold out there, and it's going to stay cold.
Countdown Chicago in HD New Year's Eve only on ABC7.
And to close out our newscast tonight, we just wanted to bring you over to the side of our studio right here where this accident happened right after we started, just past 10 o'clock tonight at about 10:02. This is the view from outside. That silver minivan, looks to be a Mazda, crashed through our studio right here, and it made an enormous explosive sound. Luckily, there has not been any kind of fire or anything like that. We do not know the circumstances of this. We do not know who was driving this. We do not know what happened at all. And of course, if you watch these newscasts regularly, you know that we have always a nice crowd in front of our studio here at State Street and Lake. And sometimes, you know, we have security out there, but there's nothing that can really be done if something like this happens. Accidents happen. We'll figure out what happened in the next while or so. But as you can see, there's an enormous amount of broken glass here. Luckily, not a lot of structural damage, but the glass above the car, as you can see, is enormous. It weighs thousands of pounds and a real big hazard. We'll have the very latest on all this and the news of the day tomorrow for December 24th, our first newscast at 5 a.m. on ABC 7. But that is our report for tonight. So for Phil Schwartz, Jeff Blanzy, and our entire ABC 7 news team, we're all very safe. You be safe. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you very soon.